welcome to Marified International School. Today we'll be discussing on the pressing global issues in our time. Now, let us introduce our students. Can you please introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Jay Shaktiville from grade 9, and beside me is...
I'm Sana from grade 9.
And I'm Abdul Hadi from grade 9.
Great. So, I'm going to ask you my first question. What do you think is our first global issue that we are facing right now?
The biggest and the most major one is pollution. And there are more like floating or melting icebergs. But the most major problem we have is pollution at the moment.
Okay, so what do you think causes pollution?
Cars, a lot of burning things, using of fossil fuels. Not only that, just wasting things and using a lot of harmful things.
Okay, can you let me know what are the chemicals that are coming out in the field that is actually very harmful for our earth?
Yeah, the first thing that will come to mind is obviously carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Literally everything that we burn, carbon dioxide comes out.
Okay, when you breathe out
Even
carbon
when we
dioxide
breathe.
comes out, does that mean that you're polluting the world as well?
Yes, but a lot of
Can we do this
other
again?
things
Yeah.
that
Okay, please, again. Please.
It's okay, we continue from here again. Here is the crowd. Another time, let's go.
Why do you sound so
Yeah.
No, don't say cut. Don't say cut. Don't just move along.
Yeah,
move along.
I'll call you when I want, okay?
You sound
Please.
so depressed.
Ready? Continue.
it is a pressing issue.
Okay, where were we starting?
Another time, wait. Your last question, ask it. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
How do you think we can overcome pollution?
We can reduce our usage of harmful things like cars, maybe factories even. We can reduce that usage. We can try to reduce and ultimately stop burning things. That is the
Okay,
most major
so
issue.
when you mention pollution, what kind of pollution are you mentioning? Are you mentioning in regards to noise? Are you mentioning in regards to air, water?
Well, specifically, I would say air because the API, the air pollution intake, has been increasing by 60. You know, back then when I was grade 3 or something, the intake, the API index was over 100. So they had to close down schools. Now, today, the API index is pretty much increasing to 60, which is also a very serious matter. We discussed this in our Global Perspective class with our teacher. The haze is pretty much getting worse because of all the carbon dioxide, all of these things just impacting the ozone layer, And I'd say the cause of this is mostly the factories that are undergoing open burning, cars, and most things. What do you think?
Airplanes as well.
Yeah, once again, I said there's a lot of problems. Sound pollution is a thing, or littering and trash everywhere is also sort of pollution. But the most major one is probably air pollution, which comes from factories, cars, burning fossil fuels, open fire, burning plastic.
Good, I understand that this issue has been happening for years and years,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
For decades. But do you think there's any change that is happening right now, even in regards to people
Yeah.
themselves?
Yeah.
It is much better than it used to be. For example, we stopped using CFCs.
Yeah.
And air pollution is
Or there-
the worst.
Stop using
one.
CFCs, how?
We stopped using CFCs because CFCs got into the air and damaged the ozone, and now we can see ozone layer is healing.
Exactly.
We've banned CFCs.
What causes CFCs?
It is a chemical.
Yeah?
Yeah, CFCs is a chemical.
Don't you think air conditioners produce CFCs as well?
Now, I'm pretty sure they stopped using CFCs now. It's banned worldwide.
Okay.
Also for the burning plastic, I'm pretty sure we've seen it everywhere in malls, but nowadays they write recycle. They're taking those plastics, they're recycling it or compressing it. They're not burning it anymore, which is one of burning plastic actually produces a lot of carbon dioxide.
So have you guys ever done anything to help in this issue?
Personally, the least we can do is to
Not littering.
not pollute.
Like recycle things. The least we can
Yeah.
do because we're really young, you know.
Yeah,
not
but
smokers.
like for example, I come from Iran, and there are certain days that they, like, first of all, they don't let you take out your car like for 2 or 3 days, or they have certain times on weekends. Like after this time, like before this time, you cannot bring out your car, so it stops pollution, and after that you can, but at some point you have to stop again. And
Okay, what if in
just
case of
restart.
emergencies? You still can't bring out your
Well,
car?
cases of emergencies, you could, but let's say, for example, from like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., you cannot take out your car on weekends, and then after that you can. But if it's an emergency, like if you need to go to the hospital, you can take an ambulance. But if you need to get to someone's house, I mean, you have to give a reasoning to the
But
police
let's say
station.
when you're going to take an ambulance, for an ambulance to come in to your house, you know, that takes time, and for you to reach back to the hospital, it takes time as well. Emergency in cases where you have to be in the hospital like within a short amount of time. What did you say on that?
They can go, but they
Okay.
need to give the reasoning. Like if it's an actual reasoning with proof, they can.
Okay.
But if it's like unnecessary, they fine them. Like if you're just going out for no reason, they fine them. Therefore, people stop coming out, and it stops the pollution when it's too much polluted air there.
Yeah, because it's already really polluted, and
Yeah.
you just want to add on to it. So
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're mentioning on like how you can reduce pollution. Can you give me like a very specific answer on how do you think we can actually conquer that?
Can you?
We can try to clean up the oceans first and try to keep our own polluting the land to a minimum as well. We can do our best to that.
How?
Me, for example, if I have something, I have some trash, I can simply just put it in my pocket until I can find a trash bin. And I believe there should be more trash bins, more than enough trash bins to accommodate all the trash, and everybody should try to do that.
That's a good exercise. That's a good character.
That's
how
the least we
would
can
you encourage the public to think and do the same way that you are doing?
Maybe
Yeah,
like collection.
maybe we can even award them for that.
Oh,
yeah,
we
yeah,
can do
yeah,
exactly.
like
collection.
like
Right.
a camp or something. Like
Yeah.
you conduct camps, spread awareness to them, saying how much it really impacts your world, like your house, your planet, your
Do you,
home.
do you think that our generation right now really care about all these
I
issues?
think they would,
They
because
Yeah.
should.
let's say like, oh, if you guys collect 3 bags of plastic bag, we'll pay you guys like 50 ringgit. Of course, anyone would do that, right? Therefore, the more people start to volunteer, and then we bring down the price 20 ringgit, 10 ringgit, because there's more people we need to pay after.
But where do you
collecting.
think you're gonna get the financial?
Well, they're actually helping for the government, and we're reusing those plastics. Therefore, they're getting recycled and they're used and they're getting sold, and we get the taxes from them. So it's, you know.
Have you
Okay.
ever gave this idea to anyone before? Try.
I'm just a kid, bro. I can't.
Not much of a kid anymore. I mean,
I'm
if
just
everyone
16.
thinks that way, then I feel that there's
Well,
never
it's
really
not
gonna
like
be a
I'm in
change.
contact with politics.
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 So, you spoke about cleaning the water. How?
Well, there are currently boats with nets out in the ocean that are collecting all the plastic that we've thrown in there. We can do that on a bigger scale. To
How do you
make
think
it
you can actually ask those people to get rid of all the plastics in the ocean?
Yeah, to clean that you also need the money.
Yes, there's government funding for that,
Okay.
and the taxes that we pay that is going to that exact thing.
Okay. Do you think there are any other global issues that should be mentioned?
There are many, but I think the only ones we could try to fix are just air pollution, water pollution, to save the marine life specifically.
I guess they're the simplest to
Yeah,
solve, even
that we
though
can
they're
solve.
not exactly simple.
Like,
Yeah,
for
like-
example, melting icebergs, what can we do?
Thank you guys for being with us in this podcast, and hopefully you'll be there for our next podcast. Thank you everyone for being here and sharing your ideas and opinions. I had a great time. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
See you.